Chapter 1087. The Disambiguation Temple Translator, Myoibo Studio Editor, Myoibo Studio. The quiet and ancient temple hall was very spacious. Only the stone plate in the middle was conspicuous. This was the location where one could place items, and the virtual universe system would conduct an examination and arrive at a verdict regarding their value. This was the only place that Luo Feng could think of to easily identify a piece of an unnamed valuable. Previously, based on what my access rights allowed, Luo Feng said to himself, I made use of the virtual universe network to make comparisons with the metals that I couldn't identify. Now, I could confirm almost every unknown metal. Although some of them are rare, it was better than seeing Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress beat his brains out trying to figure out the metals. Now, I'm down to the last three types. Purely through his own investigative work on the network, he was now left with only three types of metal that could not be identified. Based on his conjecture, there were valuables to be found from within. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and a green crystal stone the size of a sesame seed appeared in the middle of his palm. He gently placed it on the stone plate. When green threads started rising from the middle of the stone plate in a winding path to envelop the green crystal stone. Then the stone plate started to process the stone meticulously. A short while later, a voice rang out in analysis. Metal. Wood in research crystals. 1 piece. If given to race as a contribution, one can receive 18 treasure points. Luo Feng, are you willing to contribute this treasure to your race? Oh, it is truly a treasure. Luo Feng's expression revealed a trace of surprise. No wonder I couldn't find any information on this metal with my access rights on the network. Just this little stone that is the size of a sesame seed is worth 18 treasure points. It seems the universe overlords and knights that I have killed did indeed have quite a fair number of valuables hidden among their possessions. However, only 18 treasure points. That's not even worth one fight against Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress. Luo Feng shook his head and dismissed this piece of treasure. With one hand outstretched, the crystal stone that was the size of a sesame seed flew back to rest on his palm, and was immediately stored back in his world ring. Then, with another flip, another piece of metal appeared in his palm. This black metal was around the size of a human head, and its surface was divided into a total of 360 facets. The facet was smooth and shiny beyond comparison, to the extent that they were as reflective as mirrors. This was another one of the three great metals Luo Feng failed to identify. The black metal floated off his palm and made its way over to the stone plate. Countless green threads rose up in a winding path again to envelop this piece of black metal. Stone. Huh? Luo Feng frowned. Why is this taking such a long time? It had never taken this long before, even when he brought his true treasure to be examined. Eventually, the gentle voice sounded again. This time, it resonated throughout the entire hall, creating an echo. Disambiguation Mirror Stone. An item belonging to the Disambiguation Temple. If contributed to the race, one could earn 20 true treasure points. Luo Feng, are you willing to contribute this treasure to your race? Luo Feng's eyes lit up. 20 true treasure points? That was even more expensive than 9 Tiger River. This is it. Luo Feng looked at the disambiguation mirror stone with amazement. At the same time, he summoned it back to his palm very quickly by stretching out his hand. With sparkling eyes, he stared at the disambiguation mirror. He initiated a fair trade of metals on purpose. Such a bully. He must be taking advantage of the fact that I was unaware of the wonders of this disambiguation mirror stone. Luo Feng felt adrenaline coursing through his veins. Although it had been close to 20,000 years since he had first entered an original star, during this period, Luo Feng's consciousness occasionally entered the virtual universe, so the major events on the original stars were nothing novel to him. Undoubtedly, he knew them all. For close to 20,000 years, on the 10,081 original stars, if there was one such event that was most shockingly soul-stirring, it was none other than the tumult in the Disambiguation Temple. This occurrence had driven the races of the universe into a frenzy. In the first 600 years after the paths to the original stars appeared, various universe laws befell. Original star number 02892. All of a sudden, various laws and origins had appeared on this original star at the same time. There were elements like gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder and lightning, light, time, and space. The combined power was overwhelming. At one point in time, it felt as though the entire planet had fallen into shackles, and every single one of the universe knights and universe overlords had difficulty moving. At the same time, a temple started to emerge gradually from beneath ground. The entire process took close to a full 100 years, and during this time, various major powers of the universe sent forth their superbeings to this temple. At one point, this temple was surrounded by many universe masters, and only universe overlords with top-tier universe overlord capabilities would dare to venture near it. After a period of 100 years later, the Disambiguation Temple fully emerged. Before it was erected a black stone tablet. The stone tablet had ancient engravings that were easily deciphered. Any great being would understand the moment they laid eyes on them. The content was very simple. It read, "The birth of Disambiguation Temple. A stone tablet appears. The moment the stone tablet disintegrates, on the 10,081 original stars, during a certain time and place, a single or many disambiguation mirror stones will appear at random. There are a total of 36 disambiguation mirror stones, and they all resemble ordinary stones. During birth, their dynamics are comparable to that of senior true treasures. When all 36 have fully emerged, the Disambiguation Temple will open. Those possessing disambiguation mirror stones may enter. Any great beings without the stones will be considered as trespassing and will be annihilated without exception." 1 year later, the stone tablet disintegrated. That was when various rumors started circulating. There were sayings like the disambiguation mirror stones had been born on a certain original star. The rumors gave rise to many disputes. However, no one knew the exact time and place where the stones could be. This required a touch of luck. Even if a great being had strong powers, it would still be a challenging feat to obtain a disambiguation mirror stone. News of the stone tablet was disseminated early. Of course, Luo Feng knew of it. "So, this is the disambiguation mirror stone. I have been so oblivious to the treasure I have." Luo Feng looked at the piece of black crystal stone. During The birth of the disambiguation mirror stones, there was an aura so overwhelming that it was like the birth of a senior true treasure, which was why it would have been best to find this disambiguation mirror stone during its birth. Then, the unique characteristics of this stone could be observed and acquired. The birth of a stone possessed a power that was comparable to a senior true treasure. Every great being would be able to guess that this was not an ordinary stone. However, just like how Luo Feng killed other strong beings, then simply gathered and collected all the valuables that they once possessed, even if one possessed these disambiguation mirror stones, they might not be able to identify them correctly. The befalling of various laws and origins of the universe, said Luo Feng. The disambiguation temple seems to be the greatest treasure. During the opening of the original stars this time around, the original stars usually took a limitless period of waiting before they opened once. When they did open, they would only remain open for 1,000 eras. During this period of 1,000 eras, top-tier domain-type true treasures, top-tier soul-type true treasures, top-tier flying palace-type true treasures, and pinnacle weapon-type true treasures showed up quite frequently. The only concern was that these would all come with imperfections and would be scattered all over the place. During the 1,000 eras that the original stars remained open, there was bound to be one true treasure that was most fearsome of all, one that would dominate all other true treasures. Usually, the predominant one would be a pinnacle domain-type true treasure, a pinnacle flying palace-type true treasure, or a pinnacle soul-type true treasure, and they would normally also possess other functions too. Force armor, for instance, also had the power of soul defense. Beast God armor had powers of attack and defense. Supreme True Treasure Star Tower was a fusion of soul defense, flying palace, suppression, attack, and many other functions. Every time the original stars open, the most powerful true treasure that appeared would usually be a combination of numerous abilities. For instance, the main function of a pinnacle soul-type true treasure would be soul defense, but it would also have the function of partial godly body defense, or even the function of creating illusions. In short, a pinnacle soul-type true treasure would only be second to a supreme true treasure. And supreme true treasures were especially uncommon. Even the 9 greatest supreme beings in the universe did not own any supreme true treasures to reign dominance over the others. So pinnacle true treasures of the various types, like domains, soul, flying palaces, were more than enough to send various races in the universe into a frenzy. It will be an eternity before the original stars open again, Luo Feng said to himself. Every pinnacle soul-type true treasure or true treasures of the same level would be known as a predominant clan true treasure. Once a strong and powerful universe master possessed such a true treasure and used it with other true treasures, the possibility of being annihilated would be nearly zero. Even if the opponent possessed a supreme true treasure, escape would always be possible when defeat was not. No wonder Tian Yang Knight hid this stone all this time, thought Luo Feng. He would not have dared to reveal this. Once word had spread that he owned it, this disambiguation mirror stone would naturally have fallen into the hands of the universe masters in the automaton clan for their own uses. He was fortunate enough to obtain one senior true treasure, and if he went into the temple, only 36 great beings in the entire universe could enter. the disambiguation temple through the many different doors, so there was no way he could fail to survive. Should a great being make it out alive, then the trip in would be extremely rewarding. Even if one failed, resurrection would always be the next course of action. Luo Feng clearly understood what had gone through the minds of Tian Yang Knight and Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress. Tian Yang Knight hid the news, and Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress had been unwilling to reveal the news that Tian Yang Knight had a disambiguation mirror stone. If word spread, Tian Yang Knight would have had to pay his respects and surrender the stone to his race. Tian Yang Knight would keep mum about the secret he held against Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress. Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress held a high status, having 3 great bodies, with each one comparable to that of a top-tier universe overlord. His status could almost match up to a universe master, so even if word spread and the Thornring Alliance found out that he had a disambiguation mirror stone, no one would be able to forcefully take it from him. If he was backed into a corner, a special life form such as Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress could always choose to leave the Thornring Alliance and join other alliances. Both had their own plans. Tian Yang Knight was not afraid of Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress hunting him down. He was confident he would stay alive. Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress was also confident that he would be able to get his hands on the disambiguation mirror stone, and hence, the situation maintained the status quo. But no one expected Luo Feng's intervention. Tian Yang Knight was skilled in escaping with his domain-type true treasure combined with his senior true treasure armor, flowing light wings. Even Luo Feng had been unable to give chase and eventually had to depend on his "I am the universe" technique to achieve the kill at last, which was how this disambiguation mirror stone had fallen into the hands of Luo Feng. With this disambiguation mirror stone, I also qualify to enter the disambiguation temple, Luo Feng said, his emotions running high. This kind of opportunity only comes once in the passage of many countless eras. Within 1,000 years, I will be able to become a universe overlord. Once I attain the level of universe overlord, my godly body will grow even bigger and stronger. My power will increase. I will be equipped with more resources to pursue other valuables. Luo Feng nodded as he finished his analysis of the situation. Then he put the third piece of metal to test. It was a small metal piece worth 31 treasure points. Although Luo Feng was quite surprised to learn of the value, he dismissed it with a laugh. Thereafter, Luo Feng made his way out of Primal Chaos City and left the Primal Universe. He returned to the original universe. Asterisk 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 within the territory of the Thorn Ring Alliance. For a life planet to gain unparalleled prosperity, the prevalence of technology must never be underestimated, even if the planet did not depend on that technology. The majority of life planets in the universe, especially those with life forms that were inherently weak, relied more on the use of technology to create an ideally comfortable living environment. Towering skyscrapers, speeding cars, aerial parking berths. All these would be common sights. At the top of a skyscraper, Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress had transformed into a godly body that was around 9 feet tall. Sitting in his armchair, he overlooked the city. As he was a special life form, he preferred the way these ordinary and weaker life forms lived. Luo Feng, golden-horned beast, he muttered. This disambiguation mirror stone must have fallen into his possession. Failing in my mission this time around must have roused his suspicions. He has probably made use of human race's information system to identify the disambiguation mirror stone by now. Lord of Fan Nuo Fortress frowned as he fell into deep thoughts.